morning, friends. It's Megan from the Seasonal Abode. It's early in the morning, June 2024, and I am in Zone 6, Canada. I thought it would be a great time to take you for a tour of the kitchen garden. The birds are singing. A lot of the plants are lush and green at this time of the year. So I'm going to be taking you through a walkthrough of my kitchen garden area this week. We're going to be starting with the new no-dig area that we planted together. I'll link that above. And then we're going to go walk through each of the beds, and I'm going to quickly explain what I have in them. Not all the beds are filled, as I just finished filling some of them yesterday. So you will have to forgive my garden, as it is not perfect, but whose garden ever is. So if you can look past that, I hope you will enjoy this tour and that you will consider subscribing. Now let's get to the garden. So welcome, everyone. This is our new kitchen garden. A few weeks ago, together we planted this front garden area here. It was a no-dig planting, and you can see so far how much it has grown. I've already gone over the plants that are planted here. If you are interested in that, you can check it. I'll link the video above. Here we have some annuals planted that I didn't do in that video. We have potato vine, petunia, potato vine repeated throughout to give some color to this front bed area. I've mirrored that over on this side as well of the entryway. Since my last video, the beautiful new dawn climbing rose has begun to bloom. Isn't it beautiful? It smells super nice. I have had some bugs eating it, so I have gone in with a sulfur spray, and it seems to be perking up quite well. I think I'm going to continue to spray throughout the season, probably every 7 to 10 days with the sulfur spray. The other side of the arbor, I have some cup and saucer vine, as well as the David Austin Generous Gardener. It is just beginning to form some buds, so I'm excited to see what those flowers will look like. So as we go into the garden, just this week, just yesterday actually, we finished filling a number of new beds. So we added in 6 new beds this spring. I've only planted in one of them. So the first bed here we have potatoes. I'm going to be planting some corn and some beans, as well as some more cut flowers, some zinnias, cosmos, and some more dahlias. So these ones are empty as of yet, but in a few days' time they will be full. So over here in this bed we have some cut flowers, some celosia, ageratum, calendula, straw flower. And then over here in the next bed, we have tomatoes, some Roma tomatoes. I plan on making some paste later this summer, as well as some peppers, both sweet and hot peppers. I'm not 100% sure on the variety names. I can look them up if you are interested. Then in this bed, there are some beautiful apple blossom Madame Butterfly series snapdragons. None of them are quite blooming right now. We had some blooming the other day. They are absolutely gorgeous. A beautiful pinky blush color. We also have some ranunculus in here, yarrow, and some of the little lavenders that we started from seed back in January. Over in this bed here is some feverfew. I did do a video on the planting of this bed. It was a cool hardy flower bed. As you can see, a lot of it is flowering already. I'm anticipating this feverfew to be flowering in the next few days. Then we have some rudbeckia in here, Sahara, and some stock. This is what the iron apricot stock looks like. I'm not 100% convinced that I will be planting this again. It is beautiful once it opens. It's a one and done flower, and I'm looking for more flowers that take up space but also produce well. So repeat flowers. Here is the cornflower or bachelor buttons. It's beautiful blue. In the middle of the garden here we have a bird bath, which is nice. The birds are definitely starting to frequent this space a lot more with the trellis arches that we have in here. And of course the water, they are loving beginning to love this garden area, and that's exactly what I was hoping for. I'd like to encourage certain wildlife, obviously not rabbits, but birds and beneficial insects and things like that. This bed here has had some difficulties. It wouldn't be a garden tour if there weren't some garden beds that showed that nothing is perfect. So here we have some kale. I replanted various squashes because I had some bok choy and brassica varieties in here, and they were not thriving. They were getting eaten, and a lot of them were going to seed. So I think the seed that I purchased was not good. So we went in and planted some squash in this area. There have been some rabbits in this area. This is some arugula that has gone to seed, so we'll need to pull that out and replant with something else. Over here is another early bed. This is the garlic that we planted last fall. It's looking like they're going to be scapes soon. I love cutting off the scapes and adding them into dishes. Over here we have some radishes that are very ready to be harvested. They are looking big and beautiful. Then we have some beets and some carrots. So this is also an early bed, so something that I can start already the first week of April here in Zone 6. We have some sweet peas climbing up the trellis, as well as some hyacinth bean plants. I have them growing on all of my trellises this year. I am super looking forward to the beautiful pink flowers that will be cascading over the arches in a month or two. So over in this bed here, we have 3 plants of zucchini. Clearly there is not enough room for these zucchini plants. However, I didn't have any beds left, so I just popped them in here. I may be adding zucchini into one of the extra beds. Also love to plant some sunflowers somewhere. Over here is some red leaf lettuce, some spinach, and some Swiss chard. Some more hyacinth bean growing up the trellis. And over here on the end, it doesn't look very beautiful right now, but come August, this is going to be a spectacular bed. This is full of dahlias. I do not know the exact varieties. Once they start blooming, I can do another tour with the variety names. Back in January, I decided to start some leek and some onions, and they were growing very, very well for me. So I actually threw them in the cold, and this is what they look like currently. It's the beginning of June. Then I forgot which was which. So my mom taught me the other day that to tell the difference between an onion and a leek is you need to look at the leaves. So the ones that are flat like this, like grass, these are leeks, and the ones that are more round are onions. So that's a neat trick if you didn't know that one. So over here we have the last 2 beds that are not filled with anything. I will have to add a little bit more soil to here. We'll probably be planting some zinnias or something like that. We added in this nice little bistro set yesterday so that we can have tea here in the afternoon. So I hope you've enjoyed this tour of the garden. I'd love to take you along as this garden progresses. This isn't a professional video by any means, but it is a real life one. And sometimes those are the nicest to see, that not everything is always finished, and that gardening is a lifelong journey, and it's fun to share. So I hope you enjoyed, friends.